Hello, welcome back to the garden. Today I'm just at home doing some pottering around, and I thought this would be the best time for me to show you around the Polytunnel. Now, things have been a little bit busy here recently. We've had the summer holidays and I've had a lot of work commitments going on. So I've not been able to do loads of videos that I would have liked to have done. So I think it has been about 2 or almost 3 months since I've actually shown you around the Polytunnel. And since then, I can tell you, it looks like a jungle in there. And there's been some great things going on in there and some other things that haven't worked out so well. So I'm really pleased to show you around, and it'd be really interesting to see how it compares with your Polytunnel. Let's go and have a look. So as I said, it is a jungle in here, but I'm so pleased with how well things are doing. Now, the first thing I did this year was actually put a irrigation system in, which is a variety of soaker hoses that I am so pleased that I've done, because like I said, I've been really busy with work, and if I hadn't have put that soaker hose system in, probably things would not be growing as well as they are now. It's amazing. I kind of control it just from the kitchen sink downstairs, or sorry, down in the kitchen, which means if I've got loads going on, I can literally just turn it on for about half an hour in the morning when I'm getting ready to go to work, and then I know it's been watered up here, which has been a godsend. But if we look back at the footage from when I showed you around here last, you can see things have definitely grown a little bit out of control here. So firstly, I just want to talk about my cucumbers. Cucumbers, it is the first time I've actually grown cucumbers before, and I've got a plant here, a plant in the middle, and a plant at the back, and I am so pleased. I've managed to have about 6 or 7 cucumbers already, but just looking now, I think I've got another 7 or 8 growing, so fingers crossed they all do pretty well. And then I'll be going into kind of early autumn, late autumn, with some lovely cucumbers. One thing that's definitely been a failure this year in the Polytunnel is my hanging baskets. I was really inspired by lots of different people that grow hanging baskets in their Polytunnel for things like tomatoes, which I've done, and strawberries, which are over there as well. And it was going pretty well at the beginning of the season, where I was coming up and watering them quite a lot, but as soon as things have started getting hot every single day, we've had quite a lot of hot weather this summer, record-breaking weather, and they've just really suffered. You can see here with this this tomato plant here, I've got a couple of orange tomatoes on it, but it's pretty much dead. But also another thing I struggled with this year is they kind of got some fungal infection. It wasn't blight, but it's quite humid in here, and obviously much more humid towards the top of the Polytunnel. And I came in one day and had quite a lot of kind of mould on. I can't remember what it's called, so I'll find out and I'll put it on the screen. I probably should have taken them straight out then, in case they contaminated everything else, but I didn't. They're still here, as you can see. But next year, I think I'm going to take these down to my greenhouse. They're a little bit closer to the house, and then I can keep a better eye on them. And in the greenhouse as well, it has more shade during the day, so they're probably not going to dry out as much. But I did actually put a bowl at the bottom of every single one of these, so you know, I think they're just drying out too quickly because they've got such a small area of soil in there that, you know, a couple of hours and they've dried out. Now, it probably doesn't look like it now, but the salad up here has been really successful this year. I'm so pleased that I finally really kind of knuckled down and tried to grow as much salad as possible. It's something that we eat a lot of at home, and it's one of those things that comes wrapped in plastic. But as you can see now, they are going to seed, and I had left them here. This is a variety called Catalonga. I had left them here to grow really nice and tall and to save the seeds and stuff, but they've still not set seed. They're falling all over the place now, so they just need to be ripped out. But behind you there, I've also got some other, I think that's Lola Rosso salad that is ready to start picking. So I am so pleased. I think what I'm going to do over the next kind of couple of weeks or so is just rip this out now. It's not going to go to seed for ages, and it's I thought that was a spider then. and it's just taking up valuable space and not letting enough airflow in around the tomatoes and things like that. So they're going to come out and they will be replaced with winter salad, which I've never grown winter salad before, so I'm really pleased to see how that does in here over the winter. Because this is the first growing season I've had in the polytunnel, I decided to kind of try a load of things out this year. If I had a little bit of space, I'd put it in and see how it would do. And one of those things was to put some strings up and grow some green beans. These are actually French beans here. And as you can see, they have grown really nicely, but they went in quite late and they pretty much have just produced 1 or 2 beans so far. So I'm not sure whether it's the lack of light in here, whether it's the watering, the soil, I'm not really sure. But next year I'm definitely going to try growing more beans, especially up this string. I've also got the cucumbers up the string and it is so easy to do, and it kind of creates like a little jungle theme in here. I love how the leaves have kind of like taken over, but we've got flowers on it, so we'll see. I'm not convinced that I'm going to get the best of fruit up here by doing this, but if it means I can maybe get a little crop in at the beginning of the year before everything else grows, when the light levels are better up here, I don't know. But I still love the plants as they are. And then that takes us on to the tomatoes. I've got tomatoes down this side and tomatoes down that side. Now the tomatoes on this side, they're doing okay, but they are so leggy and I didn't pinch them out and I didn't support them properly. So they literally have been left to go completely all over the place. Another thing that I did was grow dwarf French beans in between the tomatoes. Quite a few people said not a good idea, it's not going to allow airflow and things like that, but actually I have done that quite a lot in the polytunnel down at the allotment and got on pretty well. But whether it's the lack of light or whether it's that I got the wrong French beans, because these French beans here that were meant to be, I think they're called like Purple Queen or something like that. I thought they were a dwarf variety, but they started climbing all over the tomatoes. And then it was a case of the tomatoes are holding the beans up, the beans are holding the tomatoes up. The beans probably helped hold the tomatoes up a bit because they started wrapping around the metal as well and stuff. So we do have beans. And there are tomatoes. I'm getting red tomatoes now. But next year, I think I'm going to have to grow the tomatoes upstring or something. Like I said, the cucumbers have done so well, and these tomatoes have just got all a bit out of control, and they just take up so much room in here. But luckily, we don't have blight, and apart from it being a little bit messy all over the place, we do have tomatoes, and they're doing okay. One of my most surprising failures this year has been the courgette plants that I planted in here. Now, they went in really early, but it was lovely and warm in here. As soon as they started flowering, this door has been open ever since, and they've just yet to provide me with any courgettes really. And I don't know if you can see here, but this plant is so leggy, and it must just be down to the poor light levels up here. Not going to bother growing them up here next year either, because a bit of a waste of time, but I think their leaves just get so big and take up a lot of room in here. So there you go, that is what my polytunnel looks like at the end of August. I'd love to know how it compares with yours, and I am so pleased actually with how well it's looking. I know it's a jungle in there, but I really like that, and things are just wanting to grow as long as they're given the water and a little bit of care. I probably should have taken those tomato plants that were infected with that fungal thing out a little bit sooner, but to be honest, they're doing okay. I've learnt loads about what does well in there and what doesn't do so well in there. Over the autumn, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing in there. Definitely a lot of winter salads and stuff. But one of the failures I did have this year was the overwinter onions. So whether I kind of overwinter the onions in seed trays in the greenhouse and then put them in the early spring, they might do better, but I'm not so sure. I would really love to hear how your polytunnel is doing as well, and if you have any hints and tips about the things that I've been showing you today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed watching today's video. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As ever, YouTube have some videos up now on the screen that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those, and I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!